Hey guys, today's Sunday, May the 7th of 2023, and I wanted to do a video kind of, I don't know, free form, maybe like a rant, maybe educational, maybe some tips, some tricks, whatever you want to call it out of, the rabbit hat. So without any further delay, let's get into it. I'm using NG as an example. One thing I'm calling this video is going to be called Zoom Out. Zoom Out. What does zoom out means? Take all the indicators off, all of them, and plot different time frames on your chart and just kind of look at what you see. I mean, I have a few here on the daily, but other than that, just kind of zoom out. What is zooming out? One, you want to have a chart that has a yearly chart, what this instrument has done within, a year. So each candle is a year. And kind of have that on your view. Then the next one, you don't have to, but I guess I recommend it. I rarely use it, but I'm starting to implement it because I see others use it. Some other pros. Quarterly, a quarterly chart. So this is a quarterly chart, and this one is maxed out. So as far as the data goes, I go all the way to 1995 with natural gas on the yearly. Yeah, 1995 maxed out. So quarterly. And next, you want to go into a 20-year. These are kind of Gann numbers I'm using. This is kind of stuff he recommended on his course. Have a chart of 20 years, and this is the monthly. So you can see the fluctuations, not just, you can kind of see it at the big time frame, but then you kind of see the little swings within those years on the monthly. And then I have a weekly, I have a 10-year. Those are one of Gann's, numbers that he used in regards to charting. He recommended these time frames within years. So the 20 on the monthly, the 10 on the weekly. And you see we made a low 144, made a high in 1002. And then on the daily, he recommends a 5-year. If I do a 5-year, I'm already so you can see I already got the 144 here, you see, which is that. I kind of have that, but more on a daily time frame. So I went ahead and did 1 year because I just want to lock into now our current low that we have. And I'm just dealing with the high and the low that we got, 194. That's what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm looking at. So I got from 1002, 194 low, April 14th, still 1002, September the 20, no, October, thinking of the dollar, October, August the 20, actually the date is the official date was the October, August, so the 23rd, sorry. Got all my months and everything all confused. And still that 144 low, and then you see that 144 low continues, and you got, so, this is what he recommends to do. And I saved this, and I don't have volume, and I kind of cleaned it up because there's a lot of stuff when you do use Thinkorswim that it kind of puts all these other things. And if you need me to, do a little video on how to get it to look like this, I can. Just let me know in the comments. I call it NG Zoom Out, no volume. I don't want to, I could do the volume one and I just save it. I just want to just look at what NG has done. See, look, we've only gone as high as 1565, and that was what, in 2005? For whatever reason, we just, climbed all the way up there, pulled back down. And then you see that, around 2020, we skyrocketed. And if you were long, good. And if you were still long and trailing your stop, good. As you can see that we just hit up here and you hit like a double top from these 2000 and 2001, where there's a highs of 10. You pretty much hit that pivot high and then it sold off. So if you were long, you probably would have covered here. You'd be like, yeah, I'm out. I'm trailing my stop. You weren't too greedy, which is good. But if you kept, riding and you, good for you, kudos. You were hitting around here and here, somewhere around here, and you were still long, still being even more greedy. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get more. I'm going to the moon. All right, I give you props. But if you were still holding and thinking that it was gonna go to here, 1367, or here, 1565, and you let this thing go down on you, then I'm gonna call you Mr. Greedy. Big time Mr. Greedy. That's why you need the yearly, so you could kind of see like, okay, if we blow right through here, 640, not 646, and it keeps going, I'm gonna be cautious somewhere around 865 all the way to like 920, 940, and just kind of trail my stop. And if you still didn't get triggered, and locked in profit, then you have to been saying like, okay, I gotta get out of here at least by 9 something. And if you got out and it got triggered, stopped, locked in your profit, then kudos, you did good. You're the king trader right there. But you really can't get greedy in thinking sometimes you're gonna go here or here. As you can see, it's sold off and pushed lower. What I like to do is doing this, is just kind of seeing, and then I'm a very visual person. I like to see things. I'm more visual than anything. I'm a visual learner. I like to see it, color code it, so I could kind of get the idea, get the logic behind it. And one of the tools I use that I really love is from John Carter's, is the trend. Once you pop into trend, then it kind of shows you within the candles that the trend is still down, even though you got pops. And look at this, turned white because it was really, really good, like here. And then it pushed lower. So, I recommend if you have some kind of indicator like that, wrong thing, where you could put something where the trend is your friend, or color wise, when it's trending, it's a certain color. It's not kind of like this, green, red, back and forth. You're like, whoa, what is going on? It kind of tells you, look, we positive, but now we're negative. We're kind of sideways to positive. We're still negative. Oh, we're very positive, and now we're negative. You see? Put it on all your charts. I keep picking the wrong one. Trend. Did the wrong thing here. And I'm not going to edit this video. I'm going to leave it raw, just like that. So you just see that I do mistakes. But it's one that just is more like an educational thing. Just kind of show you little things that will probably help you, in regards to seeing what's happening and cut the noise, and kind of get at least a visual of what's happening, and looking at all the time frames and getting the big picture. So we're right here, 211, hovering around there. The low is 144. There's some lows somewhere around here, 160. I mean, is there a squeeze on natural gas for Putin? I don't know. It's probably possible. Once they probably get him out of power or whatever, and, things change, then maybe natural gas will skyrocket and maybe past 1565. But so far, they're pushing it lower and keeping it low. Maybe, he's a big exporter. They're putting the pressure on him. They don't want him to make money. So I can see why, natural gas is kind of, limited, not letting it, extend, and not letting it grow, keeping it, just pretty much hammering it down every time it wants to go up, like here, just pounce on it. Because they probably don't want him to make money, which is pretty much the reality. The powers that be, whoever those people are, you know who they are, whoever they are, maybe they just keep clamoring it down. So upside is always probably limited, as you can see, within all these years. But looking at the trend, you see that now you kind of get an idea of where we at when you look at the colors. And then you could kind of scroll around, and then let's see. Let's type in gold. Just an example while you zoom out. And then you see, Okay, look at that. Now you see it, at a better light, especially the colors. And it doesn't have to be white. I like white because it pops out instead of the green. I'm so used to seeing green candles. The white jumps out at me from the black background. So when I see white, I'm like, yeah, this is positive. And it's just good in my eyes. But whatever color you want to pick, that's good too. You can see that we're here at a double, kind of like a triple top. Can it push higher? It can. Let's look at the dollar. Interesting, the dollar. Look at the dollar. 121 high. We hit 114. If you ask me, it's pretty strong. Everybody's been talking about, the dollar's going to crash and that. So far, it's going to probably happen. And the BRICS stuff, all the chatter with, the BRICS, China, Russia, India, Brazil, South Africa, a couple of years ago, we didn't have that chatter. And now it's happening. So, yeah, maybe we probably could start bleeding slowly. But for it to happen overnight, I don't know. That's a good question. Can it happen? It could probably happen. Things could speed up. I won't say no, but so far, things are shifting in the world, and you need to pay, attention and focus on these little things here and there. Not just get, super alarmed, but you can see that the dollar is making higher highs and higher lows, and so far we haven't taken out, 89 to go back down. Can it happen? Yeah, it could happen, but we not there yet. I have a target of 98. And maybe, push higher, maybe test that 121. I don't know. Maybe once we get to 121, then that's when the end will come. I don't know. We'll see. But you just look at the dollar. Let's look at palladium, because that's one I wanted to watch at the zoom out. Actually, platinum. Look at platinum. The yearly chart went all the way up here, pulled back. There's a lot of support down here at 850, but pulled back over here. You can see all the charts. There's a low. You can see it on the weekly here. You can see it on the monthly. That's where we're kind of falling. So you see when you don't have no indicators, you kind of just look and everything is like, oh, look at that. Why did it stall here? Well, look at that pivot right here. And if it's going to push lower, you can see right here, this whole area right here, 872 could be support too. You can see right now on the daily, it's getting a nice little, it popped, pulled back. You could probably do a trend line here. It looks like it broke right through it. You could do a 45-degree scale chart and see where from this high, where that 45-degree scale chart is, and if it pushes and penetrates above that, that's definitely bullish. Let's look at platinum real quick before I end this video. Platinum, look at that. Very, very oversold. Kind of hovering towards the lows. This is, goes back to 2004. So this is something maybe, if we could take out 1187 and 1347, it could be a high probability that we'll get to at least 1745. 2308. So yeah, you just zoom out. I don't know what other chart I could think of zooming out. The silver. Look at silver. $50. Remember that when it hit $50? 1980. We hit it again there. Once you close above 30, it could push all the way to 37. But you don't need an indicator on this. You just need the big time frame to kind of see, well, all right, so this is what we're dealing with. We're right here. This resistance is at 27. Chances are if we push, we could probably get to 30, trail your stop, and if it stalls there and it triggers your stop, you're out. You're locked in profit. But so far, you see the trend is telling you, yeah, it looks like it wants to go higher. Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the ones that we have. RBOB. Oops. Look at that. We did a high, was last year, 432, and then pulled back. Kind of inside a candle right here in the yearly. But our Bob is not that interesting. Let's see. Copper. Is it HG? Coppers. Everybody's talking about copper. 408. Look at that. 408, somewhere around here. Our high was last year, 2022. $5.03 around there. Strong, yeah. It's on the upper range. Hasn't pulled back. So can it push higher? Yeah, its potential has a push higher. You do a trend. We got data from 2003. Do a trend line. It's holding. You know, if it dips down to that trend line, nice opportunity to buy it. What else? Heating oil. Can't remember what the symbol of heating oil is. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The dollar, heating oil. Is it HO? I think it is HO. Heating oil. Yeah. A lot of highs last year and a lot of pullbacks. Yep. Still in the trend on the yearly, but then you look at the quarterly, and then you look at the monthly, and look at the weekly, and then look at the daily. It just looks ugly. Well, you know, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you. Sometimes you just need to zoom out and just kind of look at that. Let's do the ES. There was somebody talking to me about the ES, the market, that it could probably tank. Which, you know, it's very possible. I got a trend line here for some reason. Let's delete that. Remove it. ES, look at that. 408. Pulled back. Inside yearly candle. We pulled back. If we take out 34.93, then watch out. That's last year's low. So those are the numbers you need to pay attention. I mean, there's support out here, 15.95. Can it go on there? Yeah, you never know. 34.99 as support. Next support on the yearly is 15.66. That's a big dump. If you were to ask me. Some support on the quarterly, 26.18, as you can see, somewhere around there. And this support, yeah, pretty much around 2032. There's some support all the way down to 1816 on the monthly. I think that's it. I don't want to make this video too long. I probably did, but you get the idea. Just zoom out. Just make this chart. You don't have to put the trend. You could keep it, you know, color coded. You could kind of keep it simple. I just like visually seeing. When I see white, I see money. And one white is pure. It's clean. In the, you know, contrast of darkness, being in the light. I think that's it. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video. My focus for this week would be natural gas, the dollar, gold, the metals. Let's do crude oil. Just thought about crude oil. I don't think I did crude oil. Energy sector. Look at that. 147, 2008. And then all these years, 11, 12, 13, 14, stalled around 108. We got away with 130 the last year. So you can see that a lot of the energy sector made highs. And now we're kind of, this one is hovering and hanging over last year's low. We pierced it, but we're kind of holding on. So that's interesting, promising. And look at the low, $6.05. Kind of reminds you of natural gas, but we haven't exploded like this. It just tells you what's really going on behind the scenes. You know, natural gas would explode like this, it'll be a different story. But they just keep pounding on it and keeping it low for whatever reason that is. Wink, wink. All right, I'm going to sign out. and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts. This is just a tips and tricks. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts. If this was educational, if you want me to break down this chart, if you're a thinkorswim trader and have this chart, I could do a separate video, just how you set this up, because I know sometimes it could be challenging. But if you got the hang of it, I just use one indicator, which is the trend, and just show you the candles on what they look like, and that's it.